Good morning and welcome to Richard Rawls' Daily Meditation from the Centre for Action and Contemplation. The theme for this week is Julian of Norwich, and the title of the reflection for today, Monday the 11th of May 2020, is A Perennial Wisdom. And this is what Richard Rawls writes. Although Julian of Norwich is an anonymous woman who lived over 600 years ago, seekers and scholars return to her showings again and again. Author Veronica Mary Rolfe describes why Julian's wisdom is perennial, valuable, and needed whenever there is confusion and suffering, which is to say, in every time and place. Rolfe writes, "Perhaps the best answer to the question why Julian now is that in our age of uncertainty, inconceivable suffering, and seemingly perpetual violence and war, not unlike 14th century Europe, Julian shows us the way toward contemplative peace. In a world of deadly diseases and ecological disasters, Julian teaches us how to endure pain in patience and trust that Christ is working to transform every cross into resurrected glory. Moreover, across 6 centuries, Julian's voice speaks to us about love. She communicates personally, as if she were very much with us here and now. Even more than theological explanations, we all hunger for love. Our hearts yearn for someone we can trust absolutely, divine love that can never fail. Julian reveals this love because, like Mary Magdalene, she experienced it firsthand. Precisely because she had the courage of her convictions, Julian of Norwich became the first woman ever to write a book in the English language. Even more, this unlettered woman developed a mystical theology that was second to none during the 14th century and that continues to break barriers in our own time. Julian is also emotionally raw, often tempted by self-doubt and discouragement, yet constantly renewed in hope. She does something extremely dangerous for a layperson living in the 14th century. She discloses her conflict between the prominent medieval idea of a judgmental and wrathful God and her direct experience of the unconditional love of Christ on the cross. Why is Julian so appealing today? I think because she is totally vulnerable and transparently honest, without any guile. She is homely. In medieval terms, that means down to earth, familiar, and easily accessible. She is keenly aware of her spiritual brokenness, and she longs to be healed. So do we. She experiences great suffering of body, mind, and soul. So do we. She has moments of doubt. So do we. She seeks answers to age-old questions. So do we. Then, at a critical point in her revelations, she is overwhelmed by joy and gramercy, great thanks, for the graces she is receiving. We too are suddenly granted graces and filled to overflowing with gratitude. Sometimes we even experience our own divine revelations. Again and again, Julian reassures each one of us that we are loved by God unconditionally. In her writings, we hear Christ telling us, just as he told Julian, "I love you and you love me, and our love shall never be separated in two." Here ends the meditation for today.